Gear up, Scooter fam. Time for another podcast.
Well, first of all, thank you guys for having me. Another podcast, another episode, another day over here talking about the scooter world. Thank you guys for having me. I'm gonna be kind of like the new guy today because I kind of been out of touch with the scooter world. I'm gonna probably ask you guys a bunch of questions like if I was a newbie. But thank you guys for being on tonight, and can't wait. And hopefully we provide a lot of information for people so they can learn a lot today.
Right on.
Thank you.
All right, so I am Louis, the average guy, 1983, and I'm here in Los Angeles, and I do content on electric scooters. And the only thing close to e-bikes I have is a Roadrunner Pro.
I'm Joe, the electric scooter guy. And I also do YouTube videos here, content that's sort of like coverage as and so I cover lots of different scooters. And then I'll have a Klima myself, which is my main scooter at the moment.
Right on.
Right on. Tiger, Grimtack. That's the company I promote.
Grimtack.
I'm new to the scooter. Yeah, Grimtack. I'm new to the scooter world, and my scooter's been in the shop since last year, and I'm still waiting for it.
Oh man.
Oh, nice. What kind of scooter do you have?
So I got this Chinese brand. I think it's called Ride Wheels or Road Wheels or something like that, and it's called the G63. If you look it up on Amazon, it's probably less than $1,000 right now. But I got over $1,000 invested into it, and it's been getting worked on since I believe October of last year, and I still don't have it back. I contacted the guy for my scooter, and he told me that he should have it done by probably March because unfortunately the controllers that it had, I blew them out, and the company does not sell those controllers anymore.
Yeah.
How fast is it?
Stocked, it went, I think, 30, I believe, and then now, because he put new controllers into it, I was able to push it to 40, maybe, like 41,
Wow.
42. But he wants to make it a little bit more faster. But my thing is not even the speed, it's the distance. I love the distance on it. I was able to go at least a good 50 miles.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's not bad.
$1,000.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
50 miles.
Yeah,
and
1,000
30
bucks.
miles an hour.
Yeah.
That's decent.
Yeah.
It was a decent. I was actually surprised about the build quality because you see all these high end scooters and stuff like that. The quality they're built is way better than like the 1,000, maybe 1,500 around that range. But I was honestly impressed with it. I had it for a while, and I definitely want to upgrade to something a little bit better. But we got to see the bank account, and we got to see what's coming out this year.
Yeah, I know.
Well, that's a good question. I think that's interesting because a lot of people that I see on like scooter boards and so forth have this perception that anything you get that's not a Nami or a Cabo or InMotion, if it's not like top brand, then it's going to explode when you plug it in twice or something like that. I mean, so like I want to know like your perspective, since you have kind of what some people consider like a Chinese knockoff or whatnot. How has it held up? Like what kind of problems have you had out of it?
See, this is the thing. It has held up. The reason that mine has been in the shop is because I started tweaking with it and try to modify it and try to make it a little bit more better. So, my thing with the Chinese knockoffs is some of them are actually pretty good. You could have some really bad ones, but at the same time is your biggest concern would be probably how would I fix them? Like if something goes wrong, who do you contact for that? And sometimes these Chinese knockouts don't really have like a solid company in the background for maintenance. They sometimes answer you, sometimes they don't. So you really just rolling the dice. Now I will say this: my buddy that I ride with, he has a RX-5, the Roadrunner. He bought a Chinese knockoff for 1,500, and that thing is a beast. The build quality on it and the way it rides, I don't know the exact name of it. I'll definitely get it for you guys so you guys can go look at it. But it is a beast, and it goes fast as hell. And they got the throttle, so like the motorcycle
Like the
throttle.
the oh the twist throttle.
Yeah, the twist throttle. And it is fast, and it even comes with carbon fiber, so
Nice.
it's amazing.
Yeah, the reason I say that is
Nice.
you know, Chinese knockoff is not my term, right? That's what I see on the boards. I was just quoting what they say. I know
Hmm.
most scooters, if not all scooters, come from China, right? So I mean, there's
Oh yeah,
good
absolutely.
scooters that don't
Hmm.
necessarily have a name brand that's decent and worth the money. You can go on AliExpress or Alibaba and build your own scooter with decent parts if you really wanted to go to that kind of trouble. But once again, I don't know. I was just trying to get like a certain perspective. And how long have you had the scooter? How long?
Um,
How many miles?
uh, I don't know the mileage because that stuff was tweaked with on the monitor and everything. But I had it for like about a year, and I will tell you this: I was a maniac. At first time scooter, I'm out here going through the streets like if I'm in the Fast and the Furious movie.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
swerving through
All
cars,
right.
in the city. Because these people over here, they drive aggressive. I don't know if you guys ever been to New York, but these people over here, forget
Yeah.
about it. They see
Yeah.
you in a scooter, they want to run you over.
Yeah.
So I was just as aggressive, just as them.
Nice.
Yeah, it's kind of like that here in LA as well. So I'm not sure if anywhere else it's like that, but it is like that here.
Not necessarily
Oh
where I'm at
man.
now. I'm from Dallas, so it's pretty crazy there. But here where I'm at right now, it's a small town, college town in Oklahoma. So I don't. It's not too bad here, and I haven't ridden a scooter in Dallas yet. Although I'm going to do that at some point.
What real quick, I wanna ask, what's your guys' favorite scooter so far that you guys seen have been dropping? What I know that we talked about Project Daytona, and I know we've seen it, but we're hearing about all these other companies right now that are kind of like launching it. What do you guys think is like, top on the list right now?
For me, I've been hearing about this brand called the Moment Tricher. I'm not sure if you guys heard of it, but it's like a brand from either Malaysia or something like that. And it's freaking fast from what it looks like on like YouTube videos that I've seen. But it's really expensive, man. We're talking about like I think 7,500.
Oh my
And
God.
yeah, but it's fast though. It goes like 80 plus miles an hour or something like that. Like it's a ridiculous amount of speed that you get out of it. But I guess it's the reason why they're probably charging that much is because of like the import fees and everything. And they don't really have a dealer here in the US. So like when you buy, you're technically buying from them directly and they ship like from their place over to you. But it seems like a nice scooter though, like very well made. Uh it looks like it has a pretty big battery. I think it's 72 volts 45 or 72 volts 50 amp hours, something like that.
For me, I right now it's hard to say. There's so many different things in the new project, the Daytona project, and so forth. But honestly, the RX-7 is a super nice scooter, and if they've solved that lighting problem, I don't know. I found it really interesting. And it's something. It's definitely one of them that's like at the top of my curiosity right now. I've been keeping an eye on it pretty closely since they said that they were updating the lighting panels. So I think
Oh
that's
man.
an awesome scooter, though. I think so.
Yes, it is. And in fact, my friend that was supposed to join us today, he has one, dude. He could have told
Oh
you all
man.
about it.
Oh,
I was like, geez, I can't believe he wasn't able to make it, man.
oh man.
It's always next episode.
Yep, exactly. I mean,
It's
he
always
says he'll
next
join us on
episode.
the next one.
Awesome.
Okay. Real quick, after seeing Project Daytona, seeing the Roadrunner, seeing all these companies coming out with new stuff, the Segway, the Apollos, I've been heavy, heavy looking at the Terror Run.
Yes,
That
dude.
that's a new Supreme Fighter R, and the only reason I'm looking at it is because of the mileage you could get off of it. That thing is looking like a beast on the road.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hmm. So, my main thing of the scooters for 2025 is I'm looking for distance. Okay, you could go 50 over 55. Cool, that's great. I'm personally not gonna be going over 55 all the time. I care
Yeah,
about the range, you
I
know?
same.
Once,
I'm in the
once
same
you go
boat.
over 55, you better do the cross or whatever you gotta do. You better pray because you're playing with your life, or probably a little bit more before that, but over 55, you gotta be careful.
Yeah. I feel
I
pretty comfortable just like going 45 miles like at max.
Yeah, that's fine.
Like I feel like in control, but anything faster than that, like yeah, I mean, you think about it, if you're going over 45, it's pretty crazy because you're standing like on a board, literally just holding on to a handlebar. So
Hmm.
like there's no other form of protection or any kind of stability. It's just your legs and your hands,
yeah
dude.
yeah
It's crazy.
yeah
Um,
yeah. That's what makes it fun, right? That's what you're just
Yeah,
fun.
it does make it fun though.
but you see, this is why I say I think kind of dual stem is like the future of electric scooters, just because it brings you that extra stability with the dual stems.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
I think it's
No, I
interesting.
think it would bring a good stability to it, to just about any scooter. But I do wonder, like, if every manufacturer would be able to do that, because you know how there's like a lot of like copyright design stuff. So some scooters are going to be able to do it, and some are not.
How about you, electric scooter guy?
Um, I think it's interesting. I see scooters like the obviously like the Cabo Wolves now no longer being able to be called the Wolves, but whatever they're called.
Yeah.
They have that solid stem, that solid dual stem, and those and their things are pretty much like you get like no wobble with it whatsoever, at any speed from anything that I've seen. But it's different than, let's say, Project Daytona, because Project Daytona has really beefy dual stems, but they also have a C suspension. It doesn't go straight into into the wheel well, or what you want to call it, to the
Yeah, that's
forks.
right.
So I think
So based on that design, it technically does need a steering damper, like an external one.
exactly. So that's my point. It wouldn't be as stable unless you connected the forks down to the tire, as opposed to going with the C suspension.
Yeah.
Also, another thing that, and I don't know, but I heard it's crazy. So, like I said, I have the Klima. I know they have the Bernies, and they also have a Blast. And I haven't looked at the Blast that closely. But one thing that's interesting about it is that it actually has like a reverse suspension, so it goes out forward, as opposed it's got like a reverse C suspension kind of thing going on. And supposedly it's super stable, like it's super stable at high speed with the reverse C. I don't know how they pull that off. It looks really interesting, but that's that. I've never even seen anything quite like that personally.
Yeah. That is pretty cool. I think they were doing something similar like that. The guys that own those Teveron Fighter Supremes, but the 7260R is the one with the 13-inch wheels. I think for them to solve some of that speed wobble issues they were having, they were reversing it too,
Wow,
just to make sure that it had more stability. But it
interesting.
kind of looked awkward.
Exactly. Yeah, it doesn't look right. It doesn't look right, right? It looks.
It
It
looks
looks
like
wrong.
it sticks out too much.
Yeah.
And like if you go over like a pothole or something, like you're really gonna end up damaging it, or like it's gonna crack and something's gonna like
It, it,
something bad's gonna happen to it.
exactly. It looks. It doesn't. Because of the weight is the way it's distributed. But I don't know. Like I said, I heard it's super stable as opposed to some of the other, um, like the Bernies and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever happened with the update of the Terror Run, the 2025? Last time we heard of it was in December. There's been nothing else ever since. No updates, no nothing.
No, nothing. It's just a company that hasn't really said much. And then I know
Mm.
how I mentioned to you guys that that Melvin is supposed to take become an authorized dealer for Teveron. He hasn't mentioned like anything about it lately, and like what models is he planning on having? Because the only thing I remember mentioning to him when I bought that Roadrunner Pro back in October of 2024 was about the Teveron Fighter Supreme Ultra, and how I had this massive 72 volt 60 amp hour battery, and how I told him that there was only like one like bike shop place in New York that was an authorized dealer for Teveron, but nobody here in the Cali area was an authorized dealer. So if you wanted to get a Teveron, you would have to go either through them or directly through Teveron in order to get a scooter. So he started thinking about it, and then by surprise, he told me that he was going to become a dealer for it. But he hasn't mentioned anything to me about that at all.
Yeah, that's the thing about some of these companies. It's hard to find like dealers for them. And over here for me, I gotta go to the city for it because they have Mini Motors is there, Volvo Motors East Coast is there, and also I guess Terra Run. I heard T Wing is also over there too. The Mars T Wings, they're over there also in the city. So
Yeah, I've
you
been
know,
hearing really good things about T Wing.
they're amazing. From what I've been hearing about it, they're amazing. They've
Yeah,
run. They got a scooter of the year of
yeah.
2024.
The
Amazing.
price and performance, dude, it's freaking amazing. Like
I
you
mean,
can't
that's what
top
we
that.
want.
Yeah,
That's what we want.
Most of the stuff I've
We
heard
want.
about T Wing is good. The only thing that someone bought one of the not like the XTRs or the XT, but something like the
like the lower
Z.
models.
The Z, yeah, the Z. Well, it's a big one, but it's like I guess maybe older. But I don't know if they're really trying to push, toward that. And that's kind of, anyway, there was someone that had trouble with theirs, a couple of problems with it, and they couldn't get customer service to even, respond to them for they just kind of blew them off pretty much. And I hear about that so many times with like different scooter companies. And so it's the one thing that I believe the XTRs are great. Most of the people I hear from love the XTRs, and are like big T Wing fans. But personally, if when you do, you're gonna have problems like eventually with any scooter.
Yeah,
And when you have to go for help, how's that gonna go? And so, I think it's so important for scooter companies to kind of build their reputation around customer service because scooters are just, you're gonna have problems, you're gonna have things go out, you're gonna need to fix them. If you can't get them fixed and you're sitting there with your scooter that doesn't work, you don't want to put that kind of money. These things are thousands of dollars, so
yeah.
I mean, for
They're
my
really
example,
expensive.
look at my example. I've been in the dust. I haven't been able to ride for months now. I called the guy like literally this week. I called him and I was like, "Yo, what's going on? Give me some updates. It's about to get hot out here. I need to be
yeah,
outside."
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. So
So is the
that's
technician that's working on your scooter, is he like putting like new customized parts since he can't find the original parts?
yeah. So supposedly, from what he told me, was basically that the controllers that the scooter had, right? They don't sell those controllers anymore. It's the ones that he previously installed, not the original ones. And what he's trying to do is basically make new controllers for it.
That would fit in the
Uh,
deck.
yeah. So that's been his struggle that he's been dealing with. But he told me he ordered new ones, but unfortunately they're gonna take like 15 days to get shipped because they're
Yeah.
coming from China. So I was like, all right, but it's been like, like I'm almost going for 4 to 5 months waiting for the scooter to be fixed. And it's just like, it's killing me because someone's right around the corner. And in my area, these people here, they don't care. They'll ride in 0 degree weather, man. I see people all the time outside in scooters.
Oh, I've seen
So
people here riding in
it
the
gives me
rain.
the itch. It gives me the itch. I'm like, they're like,
Yeah, I've seen a lot of
uh,
people around my area that are riding like those commuter scooters like the Ninebot Max G2, and they're riding in the rain and everything.
yo, they don't
Without a
care.
helmet too.
They don't
Without
care.
a helmet. Yep, they don't even
Oh
care.
man, you want to know which fan base is like they're hardcore on their scooters? The Yumi fan base.
Yeah.
Those Yumi boys. Woo! Don't ever talk bad about Yumi, man. You'll have 100 people in your comment section. Those Yumi boys,
No,
they die.
actually, like I haven't heard anything negative about them. Like I
Never,
mentioned,
never.
unfortunately, I only have one friend that has a Yume, but I forgot what like model it is. But
hmm
he hasn't had any like bad experience with it.
Yeah, they have a
I
good
have, yeah,
reputation overall. I've
yep.
heard very little. I've heard a couple of things someone had to say about them, but in general, like people seem to be really on,
Yeah,
loyal
like ninety
loyal to that
percent of
brand.
people are very happy.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you can't talk bad about Yumi, man. You'll get people right on you, man. That's the only group that I ever seen that have people like literally come and attack you.
Damn.
Yeah, I like the Yumis. Some of them, like the Predator, the new Yumi Predator. I think it's got 13-inch tires
Yeah, dude,
too.
it's
It's
nice.
a beast, man. It's a beast of a scooter. And like I said, pretty good deal. Kind of like the T Wings. Like they're specced out for their money. Yumis are like a good value. If you know.
Yeah,
So
you get like great performance for the dollar, man.
exactly.
And it may not be like a really high end brand or something that's more commercial based, like Segway or Apollo, but like from what I've seen, there's a lot of people that are really happy with those scooters.
Yeah, they have a loyal fan base.
Yeah.
Very much. Every post I see where someone's asking, "Hey, what kind of scooter should I get?" There's always at least one Yumi person, sometimes more, will chime in and say, "Get a Yumi." Like I never see one without one Yumi recommendation. Every time.
Yeah, at least one post will have it.
Let me ask you guys a question real quick.
Sure.
Do you guys ever get chased by dogs on your scooter?
I've gotten chased by German Shepherd once.
Okay.
They got loose by his owner,
Oh man.
and it was accidental. The owner actually had it on a leash,
Oh my
and I
gosh.
was passing by, and the dog just like
Yanked it.
booked it. But I was on my RS, so because I was already riding at 40 miles an hour, I just immediately switched it to gear 3 and kept pushing, and I just beat the dog's speed.
Okay. Nice.
But it was scary though, because he got pretty close.
Oh my gosh. At 40 miles an hour, you got that close?
Yeah, so I'm surprised that it could
Why?
freaking run that fast for a
Wow.
dog.
Wow.
So I had to push it to gear 3, which goes up to like 54, and I beat it.
Wow.
So I didn't have to worry about
Wow.
looking bad or anything. I just kept going.
Wow.
Oh my god.
But that only happened one time. Literally 2 weeks ago.
I have yet to get chased by a dog. Electric scooter guy. I know you asked that question because you probably got chased by a dog.
I got chased by a dog today. You know, I did. That's what made me think about asking the question because I was out, man. I made a quick ride earlier. So the weather's pretty nice today, so I don't get too many nice days this time of year to go ride. So I take advantage. Just a short ride, but I go through this little neighborhood, and I've gotten chased by several dogs. But I mean, I think because I take a lot of residential roads on my path, you know, I like to go back, you know, through the residential roads, and so I'm always going that way when a dog comes running out of the house or out of the garage or someone's not watching it or whatever, and they'll take off after me. Even in my local neighborhood, there's a dog that I've seen several times, but every time I pass by, and I'm like, his owners don't lock him up, you know, just lock him up, don't let him off a leash, but he's fine unless like the scooter comes by. Like he's not a mean dog or anything, but he will just chase you, you know. So I have to stop, you know, and because it's like a pit, you know. So I have to stop and let the dog come up and sniff me, you know what I mean, instead of like trying to chase me down. And then the dog's cool, but he just wants to come like, you know, introduce himself and say, "Hey, slow down," whatever it is, you know. But
Yeah.
today, yeah, I was going by and I'm always like on my guard, you know, and so I carry pepper spray with me most of the time, but today I didn't take it, and so I was just thinking, I'm just going real quick, no big deal, you know. So I'm going, and what do you know? There's a dog that these people are standing with, and he doesn't see me coming. Your scooter's pretty quiet, so it doesn't see me coming, and I'm kind of, you know, got my after my side vision, my peripheral vision. I'm looking over there, and I hear the people, "Hey, get back here!" And I look back, and the dog is just coming after me. It's kind of like a collie or husky mix or something like that, you know. So it's a decent sized dog, but I noticed when it didn't look like it was all that fast. Like I don't know if it was older or what. So I didn't stick around. I just punched it, and I was surprised the dog kept coming. I kept looking back, and it was still trying to keep up with me. So I even pushed it further, and then I left him behind. I was like, no way, he's gonna run out of energy before he catches me.
Yeah.
But it makes me nervous. Luckily, I've been down this street. I knew the street really well. I knew there was no speed bumps or anything I had to worry about contending with, and I had an open section to just kind of let it go. So, but otherwise, I'll stop. I have to stop. I can't risk the dog biting me and then me having a wreck and a dog bite at the same time. You know what I mean? It's a bad situation. I just wish people would like keep their dogs. If you know your dog's gonna chase somebody, don't just let them run around. In your case, at least they were holding them and you kind of caught them off guard. But every time for me, it's just
Yeah.
been people not watching their dogs, just not paying attention or whatever.
No, yeah, that's some scary stuff, man.
The only
Especially,
time that I see dogs, oh, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
The only time that I really see dogs is if I go into the city. Because over here where I live at, it's kind of like a spacey area, so you can just ride around and do what you gotta do. Like, yeah, they'll have their dogs, but they're mostly behind a gate or something like that. They don't really have dogs outside like that in my area. But I will say this: when you're in the city, you gotta be careful, not just because of the dogs, but you got crazy people. New York City is crazy, so you know.
Hopefully, they're not chasing you on your scooter.
Oh man, I hope not. I want to be out.
Yeah, this is one of the reasons why, like, a lot of us who actually use our scooters on the road with traffic, we have to have at least minimum dual motors and at least a good acceleration, like a 0 to 30 start point, so that you can be able to be on the same level as a car. So, because otherwise, if it's too slow, you're pretty much asking for drivers to get like pissed off at you if you're right in front of them and they can't go around you. Even if you're to the far right side of the lane, it's still the same thing, man. At least it happens here in LA a lot.
So this is the reason that I say I'd rather have the option of my scooter going above 55, like if I'm spending the money for a hyper scooter and all this other stuff, because sometimes I do unfortunately have to get into the highway, but not like a highway like the 95 or something like that, or like in LA that they have like the 5 lanes, nothing
Yeah.
like that. But like you have like a two road, but the speed limit is a little bit higher than
Hmm.
average. I'd rather have that option, because I have been in that situation where my scooter's not fast enough, but I have to go this way. So I gotta now throw my scooter all the way to the right to try to see if I can get like on the little emergency lane, and
Oh yeah.
it,
I've
it,
been
it
on
could be
commercial
dangerous.
streets. I've been on commercial streets. They go up to 50 miles an hour and they have the posted speed limit, but it's a regular commercial street. And it's
Mm,
it's sick, man. And it has 3 lanes. So you have 2 lanes that go faster and then the one on the right side. And people on the right side try to go just as fast.
mm-hmm,
Sure.
mm-hmm. And I don't know how LA is over here, but over here, man, in the city, they'll try to run you over.
No, yeah, it seems like we're on the same page.
Be safe out there.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why we have to freaking gear up all crazy, man, like with the
Yeah,
vest and everything, man. Because
we look like we're ready for
otherwise,
war.
yep.
Yeah, I think cameras are the biggest thing. Like I just not take I used to take my camera a lot more. Now if I'm just running up the street, I don't take it. But you never know. You never know when you're gonna need it. It kind of would have been nice today if I had my camera for this dog chase thing put on a video, but
Yeah.
Uh,
I didn't have it.
real quick, have you guys seen a guy? He's on YouTube? Shout out to this guy, but his name is Zero Enigma.
The name sounds familiar, but I'm not sure. I might have seen something pop out like under my channel account when I start looking for other people to watch, like content wise. But
He rides a bike every day to work, and he works in the city, and he shows the horror that he goes through. Well, first of all, shout out to Zero Enigma if he ever watches this video. But he sees like the laws that people break while he's driving his bike. Now he can be mean, but again, that's him. But he goes above his way to tell people, hey, you're wrong. But because of him, makes me want to invest in a camera because I seen in one of his videos he got into a really bad accident,
ooh,
and I didn't know the laws in New York City, but basically they'll take the pedestrian side over, the bicycle, the cyclist, So if he didn't have it on video, he would have been at fault. So now because of
yeah,
that, I want to probably put cameras in probably my helmet, or maybe like a 360,
Yeah, that would be
Uh-oh.
smart. That's one of the reasons why I have dash cams on my scooters for that same
Mm-hmm.
reason
Mm-hmm.
too. Or at least some kind of camera that you can wear to protect yourself during riding. I think that's a really good topic to talk about, especially considering in some of the areas where we live and what we were just literally talking about, people going through a bunch of really bad things, especially getting ran over, and then the scooter rider or PEV rider having the blame automatically unless they have proof to show that they're innocent.
Yeah,
Yeah. So go ahead. Go ahead, Lecture Studio.
yeah. No, I was gonna say just like your accident that you were in. I don't know, how that's still going or not, but that accident that you were in, where it was kind of like a hit and run,
Yeah.
and you were able to capture the license plate and so forth. I mean, sometimes it's maybe more important than helmets and so forth, but not really. But it's close.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what's going on with that right now? I'm glad you mentioned it because I was going to talk about it. So far, I was told that they were able to find the person who caused the accident. So, I'm really happy about that. Apparently, they have like Infinity Insurance or something like that. And they have a policy for bodily injury in case they cause it up to 15,000. So, the way that these lawyer guys work is they try to go for like the maximum amount that you can get from that insurance company when it comes to these injuries. And the negative part about it is pretty much in writing for me, but I'll talk to you guys about it. Basically, these lawyer guys are going to be taking 45% of that 15,000 and the remaining 55% goes to me. But um, even though I get 55% out of my 55%, I have to pay everybody who assisted me during the injury time. So let's say, for example, I had MRI scans that were done for my leg and for my rib cage and my shoulder area. And that thing has to be paid for from basically my 55% as well as the random doctor they hired to set up the whole process. Even the orthopedic surgeon that sent me about my knee, which that's another thing that they talked about regarding me possibly having knee surgery on this thing because they said it's pretty damaged. And they let me know that I can do it under my own like personal health insurance, which is not a problem. But I would have like at least a minimum recovery time of like maybe 3 to 4 months or 3 to 5 months, depending how fast my body recovers from the surgery after getting it done. So right now I can walk and everything, but I have been having a little bit of issues here and there with the knee. So I'm at this point where like either I can let it be or get the surgery and try to fix the problem. But that's pretty much how it works. And when you hire somebody, you basically have to hire an injury lawyer. You don't hire a regular like accident attorney. It's an injury lawyer who you have to actually get in contact with. And not all injury lawyers cover things like bicyclist hit and run type things, but those are the kind that you would have to find in order to kind of protect yourself and try to get like compensation or your scooter repaired if it's completely totaled.
That's crazy. That's
Uh,
crazy.
from me, from what it sounded, after they take all the money that you said after the 55%, it
It's a
sounds like it's
ripoff.
not even gonna be worth it. In my
It's
head, I'm like,
pretty
wait a
much a
minute,
ripoff.
deduct this,
Yeah.
deduct this, deduct it. By the time you finish, with all the deductibles, you probably have enough money to freaking buy a bagel or the grilled cheese by the time. That's what it
Pretty
sounded like
much.
to me. It,
Pretty much, man, because when you think about it this way, what they're basically doing or what they should do is take care of all the billing stuff that I got as a help and then divide the 45 and 55% afterwards so it can be more even
exactly. No, but they taking 45 right from the start. Me personally, I would
right
have
from
threw
the
the whole
start.
oil away. I would have
Yeah,
threw the
and
whole
I
oil
tried
away.
other places too, and it seems like almost all like injury attorneys and lawyers are doing that. It's like
Oh,
between
come
40
on.
to 45%, dude. So I would be surprised if I do get this settlement. I would be surprised if I get like 2 grand out of it at the most, out of everything. Because I
Two
could
grand.
imagine the MRIs costing like minimum $1,500 per scan, and they did like 4 of them. So I could only imagine losing a lot of money out of that. Like
And
I
brother,
still have no idea like what's going to end up happening because I was told that they were going to get this resolved by the end of the month of January. Well, we're in February 1st and they haven't called me. So I figured since they have a lot of cases, give them till the end of Friday, which is next week, and call them back and find out what's going on.
brother, 4 CAT scans.
Yeah.
I would have told him, "No, hey, get away. I'll do the CAT scans myself after the first one."
Yeah.
But 2 grand, listen, I'll be blessed if you even like if you get over $500, I'll be happy.
Dude,
Because
that
to me, that
I
sounds
would be the
very
same.
expensive.
Yeah, because I at least want to try to fix some of the things that are broken on that GT1. Because
Hmm.
the throttle got stuck. Because when I hit the floor and I landed sideways, the mirror that was attached to the side on the bar inside, it pushed
Hmm.
in like the rubber grip as well as the throttle inwards. So now the throttle's kind of stuck. So it still works, but it's just that the throttle occasionally gets stuck. So I'd rather replace it so I can still continue to use that scooter. But it does have some scratches, but other than the throttle thing, the scooter's doing pretty good.
Okay, at least that's good. The scooter's not a total loss.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's not bad. I mean, you have what camera was you using for when you got with the accident?
Oh, I was actually using it's called a Wolfbox G930. It's like a mirror dash cam that I had modified to put onto the scooter. This was
Oh,
before I
I
found
seen
out that
it.
I can use motorcycle grade dash cams that do 5 volts 2 amps because most of the ones I was looking at, all of them
Mm-hmm.
required 12 volts minimum and like a separate toggle switch for a power button. And I figured I seen those and I was like, no, that's not going to work out that much. So I made my own little mod and put the mirror. So that's why like a lot of the footage from that dash cam was really shaky. But by my
Mm-hmm.
surprise, I was able to use my the same Wondershow for More software that I use for all of my videos. I was able to pause it just at the right moment to get the lady's license plates. And then what I did was I did a screenshot of that. Then I uploaded it to my phone, zoomed it in, and then did an edit for that once it was zoomed in and I was able to provide the actual like how do you call it, the license plate number to provide to those lawyer dudes. But that's what I was using. I do want to try to switch it out because these are not mirrors that well, not mirrors, but the dash cam that I got is like a mirror dash cam for a car, so it doesn't have image stability, so everything is really shaky on it versus the ones that I have now that are like motorcycle grade that have image stability at like 30 frames. So those are a lot better. And then they also have like a handlebar style mount that you can use versus what I did.
What all cameras do you ride with, Louis? Just curious.
When it comes to like video recording for YouTube, I use a what do you call it? It's the Insta360 Ace Pro, and I bring an extra one because I have 2 of them. So I bring one with me that it's always mounted on the helmet and it's connected to a microphone. But if something goes wrong with that one, I pop out the other one, simply clip it on, and just start recording again. So I use that, and then to get that little miles per hour gauge thing, I used the Insta360 GPS preview remote, and I've been having some issues with that thing. I tried contacting Insta360 to get some help because they did like a firmware update, and it kind of jacked up the performance of that GPS. Where like sometimes I'm riding, and in the video it'll show the proper like speedometer information, and then all of a sudden it just shows 0, even though I'm going like 45. So it's kind of weird that it's doing that. And I tried to like re-update the firmware, but it's not really making much of a change. So I'm gonna try it out tomorrow since I have a group ride to go to anyways, and see how it does, tomorrow. But yeah, the support for Insta360 isn't all that great, especially
No, it's,
trying to get them to help me. And then they also try to rush
mhm.
you to like uh, test out things. And during the time that I contacted them, it was raining, so I couldn't go out and try to test it out. So I do use that, and then I occasionally use the Insta360 X4, but that just depends if I want to get like a side view of myself riding the scooter or my Roadrunner Pro as an example. I don't use it that often because I'm afraid of the thing snapping off with its mount that you can put on the handlebar. Like it doesn't look that firm. So it shakes a little bit too. So I'm afraid of it just like snapping, falling on the street, and some car running it over, and there goes my $500 camera.
Yeah.
So other than
So
that, I have the dash cam that I mentioned, which is the I have the LBW motorcycle grade dash cam, and that one's like $200 or so. I paid like three with taxes on it, and it comes with a 128 gigabyte SD card already, so it's pretty cool. So you don't have to at least waste more money and buy a memory card. So I like that it comes with that. And I use that one on three scooters, and on the RS, I use that Chigi AO5 that I had mentioned before. It's super expensive. It's really nice, better quality, but it's a lot of money for what you get back because it's meant for motorcycles that use OBD2 sensors and things like that. And you don't get something like that out of electric scooters. So you can't see RPM ratings or any crazy stuff like that when it comes to its stats. But still worth it if you can afford it because it has a better quality. But the LBW is a pretty good dash cam for under like $200.
Nice.
real quick, electric scooter guy, what do you use or do you have?
Yeah, I mean I have mostly I have a GoPro that I
Mm-hmm.
ride with. I used to ride it with it on my chest as a chest cam, but when I got the Klima, the handlebar sit a little bit higher, and so I had to move it up to my helmet, and so I have a helmet strap that holds my GoPro in place. That's the main thing that I ride with.
Um, real quick, if you don't guys mind, real quick, let me show you guys my setup. I actually have it right here, real quick. What I'm gonna be
Perfect.
using
Sure.
once, I either get my scooter back or one of the new ones for this year. So this is a book bag, but it's a pretty expensive one. And this right here is the power bank that it comes with. But if you look at the side, you could put your X4 right here.
That's
So
smart.
you could so you and it's really stable because you can move this and you could tighten it right here, right? And this extends also. So what I'm thinking about doing is having this set up with I got my Insta360 over here. I got the new one, the 3S, and I still got the original one, but unfortunately, I've been having connectivity problems with this also. I want to go do what I do. If you guys look at my Instagram, I shoot matches every now and then,
Oh
and
yeah.
could I couldn't get this for some reason to connect. So I went with this one. I bought this brand new one, and it's been working well for me. And I don't know if it's the firmware update or something that messed this up or whatever, but the, you know it's good to have options. That's what I really want to say. It's good to have options, and yeah. So this is gonna be my setup, and I'm gonna try to test it out with the camera quality when I'm riding. So this is a modular book bag also, so I can swap these parts out and everything.
Goes on your
Dude,
back
that's
like a
really nice.
backpack. Is that right?
Yep,
Oh, nice,
yep.
nice.
Look, the straps right here. It comes with extra straps. This right here, this battery pack is removable, and
Mhm.
it's actually. Let me turn it on real quick for you guys. Let's see if I'll do it. It's a light right
Oh,
here.
dude, that's tight.
Nice.
hmm So at night, when I'm writing and stuff, if like I need some extra lighting or whatever, people don't see me. It's like very pitch black. I can actually turn this on. So and again, all these parts are removable. And it's a really sturdy rig. So if anything breaks in here, just in case, like I fall or something like that, I can just swap it out also. You know.
Oh, dude, that looks nice, dude. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to be interested in that. In fact,
Yeah,
if
man.
you can, dude, later on, send
A link.
a link if you have one, and I'll post it up here on the channel too, so people can go under the description and check it out, dude. Because that thing looks freaking badass. That'd be perfect
Yeah,
for content creators, man.
yeah. So that's the reason I bought it for content creators, and just try to make some content out of it, and try to do the best I can out of here with the video quality. So the other thing is, if you don't want the Insta360 like the claw thing, or if you don't want it on the right side, you could always move it. So and they got extra parts online, so you could just buy it also.
That's really cool, dude. I like that.
Hmm.
Have either of you guys ever
Especially
tried?
because, like, oh, sorry, please go ahead.
No, continue.
Are you sure? Okay, cool. I'm so sorry. So, a lot of thing that content creators struggle, especially those who make videos on YouTube, is running out of battery power on the camera and then having to turn off the camera, pull over, and
Hmm.
switch out a battery and then turn it back on. So, like, if you're doing something like range test videos, or you're looking like where you're looking at like how much distance you've done on the trip, that won't actually be able to get done properly because once you stop that clip, that information is over. So being able to have a backpack with a battery bank that you can just plug into the camera before the battery dies, I think is pretty convenient.
This is the battery pack right here. I just take it out of the book bag. You know, I'm able to go ahead, charge my stuff, plug it in. This is also solar charge. You know,
Dude,
let's keep
that's
it moving.
nice. I like that.
Yeah. So that that's the setup that I got currently.
I was gonna ask
That is really cool.
if you guys have tried or thought about doing like a follow me drone with a camera, out riding, something like that. I've seen
Yeah.
some people do that. I don't think I've seen too much scooter videos, at least talking about it anyway.
Well, the thing is with those hover drones is that our scooters are pushing past the limit that they follow you. So I know some of them have like a limit of just about like 20 miles per hour that they can follow you. After that, they kind of lose you. And the one that I've been looking at that I've been keeping my eye on is actually the Hover One Pro compared to the DJI. But I am interested in the new DJI 4, the Mavic 4 that's gonna come out. See how that performs. Just trying to see, what's going on with the market over there with the drones. But right now, you know, I, I, I I've thought about it. I haven't pushed the trigger on it because I feel as though if I'm gonna do videos with that, I'm not gonna be able to go full speed, and I'm afraid that I might lose it in the forest, in the city. If I lose it in the city, that thing is gone forever, and I just blew my money. But
Yep. Yep.
it's a big concern with me. But I have thought about it.
Nice. Yeah, I just
Yeah,
looked
same
into them
here.
recently. Go ahead.
Mm. Same here. I've been thinking about them. Uh, I was actually talking to my wife about it like 2 days ago, and she was telling me that it sounds like a good idea, but then at the same time, we were also looking into them because it seems like they have some like from DJI that can follow you, and you have to carry some kind of sensor on you so that the thing can like follow you in your direction. But like Tiger mentioned, it's like a limitation of like the speed and also how long it can be up on air before like
Hmm.
it either ends up going down or it gets stuck on a tree or on a power line or something. So I think if I was to use something like that, I would probably have to go somewhere that's more open space to record just small angles of like me riding not too fast or even maybe from a distance while the drone just stays in one place and then just ride back and forth or something like that just to get some different type of footage, which would be really cool versus just like the first person kind of view. So having like a side view like the X4 is pretty cool, but then you have limitations on how you can make that look, and then having something like a drone would be even better. But yeah, I was looking into that, but like I'm not like in a rush to get something like that because I'm looking more into like to see like how much speed can it actually do to keep up with you, and then also like how long can it be on air for?
See, that's the thing. That's what I'm kind of waiting for to see what DJI is gonna do with their upgraded model. Because just Hover just upgraded their models, so I'm trying to see what they're trying to do with that with the following thing. Also, I gotta be careful because I'm in Jersey and they have like a drone thing. We heard about the
Oh
drone
yeah,
situation over here,
yeah,
so I
absolutely.
kind of, I kind of gotta be careful also, with that because I know they have now restricted areas with it, and they're kind of like doing policies with that. So you know, I gotta be careful.
Pretty much the
Electric
same
scooter.
thing here in a way. So what's your take on it,
Oh, me, I
electric
looked
scooter
into
guy?
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah. I was looking into it recently, and I just didn't. I wasn't sure, right? I saw something that said, that they did an update, and I think one can go up to like 30 miles an hour now. And once again, as long as you're kind of in an open area where you don't have to worry about too much, I think it would be nice to just kind of get some footage. Also, like the only footage I've ever really gotten out riding is just riding footage. So you see, I see some videos where they'll have like a camera they'll put to the side and then they ride by it or something like that. I haven't got to like experiment doing stuff like that with my phone or whatever. But I'm trying to find new perspectives and so forth to add to my videos to keep them interesting.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. Talking about that, I have seen Yogi Steve do that on some of his videos where like he does like what's called B-roll, and it's basically just him putting a GoPro on like somebody's car, like on a tire from what he said before. Like he'll just put it right there on top of the tire, angle the camera a certain way, and then he'll press record, hope that no one steals the camera, and then he'll go back to like the end of the block, and then as he's coming right back, he gets that B-roll
That's
footage,
not
and then he stops, comes back to the camera, picks it up, stops recording, and goes to the next spot.
wow, that's
Mm.
interesting. I like it.
Yeah, so it's a lot of work,
No
and then
kidding.
you have to
I,
edit all of that.
Yeah,
Hey, listen, I'll be scared to do that in my area. Somebody could quickly go whoop.
Oh,
There
dude, absolutely, same here.
goes my camera.
Yep, he's brave to do that, man.
No, no, he chacho. Better man than me. Me personally, I wouldn't be able to do that here.
After doing that video test of Project Daytona, it seems to be a really good scooter. It's very heavy duty. Like for some reason it feels lighter than the RS because I did pick it up off camera and it felt lighter, but it's wider from the deck. So I think it's because of the kind of frame material it's using. So that little backbone thing that is doing in the center, I do feel that that might get a little bit in the way of people stepping on the deck. So it would be nice if they can try to flatten that down a little bit, not to leave a slight hump. Like it's not that bad, but like when I was writing it, it did kind of get a little bit of the way on my foot when I was like moving around. And then talking about those pegs that they put on, when I tried it out, it was pretty convenient. I was able to easily like turn the handlebar to the side with zero issues. But realistically, man, I don't really see like 90% of people using that feature. So,
wouldn't
in
it be
my honest opinion, I feel like it should just get scrapped. But it's up to Melvin at the end of the day what he wants to do with that.
yeah,
If he scraps it to put a 7250 amp, do it.
Yeah.
Do it. I
Yep.
don't care about those specs. Do it.
I would rather he
7250
invest
amp or
on a
even
bigger
60.
battery.
Yeah, man. Bigger battery, longer range. Do it. I don't need those
Yeah.
specs. But I was fine without them.
Mhm. Same. I feel like if he skips that and he makes the battery bigger, even better. Because I feel like 72 volts at 40 amps is not bad, but the RS can do that. And
I
that
feel like that's
already
the standard.
exists.
I feel like that's the standard right now. 72 volts, 50 amp. I
Yeah.
want to see 80. I want to see 84. I want to see people go up.
Yeah.
But the same price range as a 72, that'll be the one right there.
Yeah. Like, for example, if he was to keep it, like he said, duo 2000-watt motors that peak out at basically 8,000 combined, that's not a bad speed. The RS does 8,400 watts, for at least the one that has the 50 amp power controllers. And if he was to do that, that's not a bad choice in order to be able to like invest more into the battery. Like, I think it's a good idea. But again, I think it's important for people to kind of push that in the comments and stuff and try to reach out to him like on social media, let him know, hey, I'm interested in buying this scooter, but this is what I realistically want to see before I try to buy it. Because right now, like, as much as I like it, I'm debating it because I would rather have the Tevron Fighter Supreme Ultra since that one is 72 volts 60 amps. And it's
Yeah,
going to be
I,
around the
I'm
same $4,000 price.
yeah, I'm looking heavily into the Terror Run compared to the
Mhm.
Project Daytona.
So
Even
I'm
though
just waiting. Okay.
even though they're like the top three scooters that I have my eyes on in 2025, I'm really looking at the Terror Run just because of the range.
Yeah.
That range
Like when
is,
it
is hard to beat,
comes,
man.
yeah, when it comes to the 72 volt system, I think the Tevaron with the 72 60 amp hour battery, it's like the king of range when it comes to that
Mm-hmm.
voltage. And then when it comes to 84 volt, I think I have to give it to the Dualtron, even though it's like really heavy, the X Limited. But the fact that I was riding at 43 miles an hour for 28 miles and I still had 87% battery was freaking insane. And then on the display, it said that I still had 50 something miles of range remaining. That's
I think
insane.
the way it looks like with the Dualtron, I think you could drive all the way over to where I live at, and you'll probably be fine. You still got like over 50% battery. You can go across the United States, and you still got 50% battery.
Yeah.
That's what we want, but that's what we want. If we could go 55, cool. But we want the range, man. That's
Yeah, the
that's what
range
we're all
exactly.
fighting for. We're
Yeah,
all
so
fighting
like
for the range.
for example, on this Duotron in Gear 3, on the display it says between 46 to 47 miles per hour, but under GPS, when it says 46 on the display, it really does 43. And when it says 47, it does 44. But this is under GPS.
Ah, that's weird.
So I'm thinking that the scooter's off a little bit on the like the miles per hour because I also passed by one of those street signs that have those
Yeah,
electric
yeah,
displays
the
that tell you
speed.
like the
Yeah.
reader, yeah, the speed checker, and it
Hmm.
said the same thing. It told me like 43.
So my question is this, right? What was the max speed you ever got out of it?
So far I haven't taken it above 43. Like
You
I
haven't
was
taken it
pretty
above 40.
comfortable with Gear 3 because I did experience speed wobble. So I didn't want to like try to like get it again. So I figured I stick with 43 for the most part, especially for the range. But I
So
probably should do like a higher top speed and see how that does, but maybe max out the steering damper just to make sure that I don't get any issues.
so this is
Because
the reason
I'm
that I
literally one click away from being maxed out.
really.
Yeah.
Wow. So this is the reason I contacted Mini Motors. They haven't answered me yet. But I actually asked them, are they gonna have a 2025 version of the Dual X Limited to see if they make any changes of it? Because we all know we've been seeing they've been updating their lineup, and now they got a new scooter that we even they haven't
Yeah, we
posted
talked
too much
about.
details about it. Yeah,
Hmm.
but I want to see what is like now their top end, like if they're gonna have an updated version of it. It's like the Emu Roadster. Are they ever gonna update it?
Yeah, that's the other thing. I'm not sure if they are or if they're
Yeah.
happy with that 84 volts at 40 amp hours. But considering
Hmm.
that it's about the same price as the Dualtron X Limited and you're getting basically 20 more amps, kind of makes more sense to get the Dualtron. But the Dualtron is heavier.
So,
It's like
yeah.
184 pounds or something like that. And the
Oh man, we
kickstand even broke on it. So I had to replace it.
oh man, we better start hitting the gym more. we all
I
gotta
know,
we all
right?
gotta start
I
pushing.
definitely have to, man. I'm gonna have to go from 2 days to maybe 3 days a week, man. Cause damn.
Listen, if they start asking us why we training so hard for it to lift up our scooters, we're in the
To
gym.
lift up the scooters and get more
Yeah,
range.
yeah, I'm here to lift up my scooter.
Oh man.
I got a
Mhm.
question for you. You've
Yeah,
had
what's up?
you've had the RS now a year, just over a year, something like that.
Yeah.
And from your perspective, and I have this pop up in my comments from time to time, talking about the RS versus the RS Lite. Do you think you would have been just as happy if you went to a with an RS Lite versus an RS? What do you think about that?
If I didn't really care about the range that I get right now with the additional 10 amps that are on the one that I have, I probably would be happy with the 30 amp version. Now, again, for me, I feel comfortable staying in gear 2, which goes up to 40 miles an hour. So I'm not like craving excessive speed or anything like that. So seeing that apparently the light model tops off at 55 miles per hour and it has slightly like smaller motors, like instead of dual 2000 watts, they're dual 1500 watt motors that I think peak out like at 6000 or something like that versus the 8400 on the RS. I would pretty much be happy with the RS Lite because I don't really need to go that fast. So since I'm happy at 40 miles an hour, I mean, I don't really care about it going 55. But that's just me though. That's just how I feel about it. But seeing that it basically gives you pretty much the same acceleration is pretty crazy. But since I do have upgraded controllers on the one that I have, mine now peaks at 10,000. So it goes pretty fast and pretty aggressively too. So I have to really like dial down the acceleration through the app. So I had it at like almost 30% and I dropped it down to 20 because it was just peeling out so much from the front wheel after I swapped out the controllers.
Plus,
Have you heard of this
it,
company called Nuclear by any chance? Did they work on controllers for the scooters? I've
No, I
been
haven't.
hearing about it. So I heard they're able to actually improve performance on scooters. So if you, of course I'll send you guys a link if you guys want to put it in the description for other people to look at. But I've been looking into this company because I've been interested in their controllers because they have for different types of wattage and stuff like that, depending on the battery size of your scooter. Different controllers for if you want to upgrade. So probably something if you guys want to look at it, I can.
No, yeah, that would be really cool. Because I think one of the things that a lot of people don't realize that comes with the whole speed or acceleration is not just your motors, but also the controllers you have, the amps. So if it's like 45 amps at like 52 volts or at 60 volts, you're gonna get a little bit better performance out of your motors. So anybody can put
Hmm.
like 2,000-watt motors, but if the controllers like don't have higher amps that can be able to push the motors to a faster speed, then your scooter's not going to perform that great. But that
So
all
so
depends on
uh,
like price factor.
so I heard they were working on controllers for the RS actually.
Yeah, I believe that they're thinking about upgrading, but I haven't heard too much about it. So,
No, I'm talking
since
about the company, the nuclear company. They've been working on controllers for the RS.
oh wow, that's pretty
Hmm.
cool.
Yeah. Um, I know they have. I know we all heard about solar. They're trying to upgrade the controllers for the Hyperion. We
Yeah,
heard about that. And then
yeah. I
the
think some
RS.
people weren't too happy about the acceleration that they're getting with the scooter. Like they're happy with the top speed, like once it reaches that point, but from like 0 to 30, it's not as fast. Like I guess
Hmm.
they want a little more power for the money they're paying.
But I heard it has to do some stuff with the traction control on the scooter.
Something like that. It's kind of confusing. I'm not sure
Hmm.
if most people would just consider turning off the traction control and then see how it performs with it off. But then that's how you get that
Hmm.
peel out on the front wheels for most scooters.
Electric scooter guy, your take on it?
yeah, I think like well my Klima, it's a 60 volts, but it's got 40 amp controllers. And I was looking at the dual motor Cruiser V2, and they only have 25 amp controllers, even though it's
Hmm.
still a 60 volt system. So I was just trying to like compare, like that's going to be quite a bit different if I decided to like get that versus my Klima that probably has a lot better acceleration performance. Just want to say thanks to the Average Guy 1983 and Tiger Grimtack for doing this podcast today. Had a great time with you guys and look forward to doing it again soon. If you enjoyed this content, please like, share, and subscribe. Consider joining my Patreon, buying me a coffee, or picking up some merch. Thanks and happy riding.